Okay, for those just starting out on the fitness journey, all I'm doing here is breaking down reps, sets, the exercise parameters so that you can either understand the program that you've been given or so that you can understand them a little bit, just so that when you factor your own programs, you've got a basic idea. So like I say, this is really simple for those just starting out. Reps, repetitions, how many times you repeat said exercise. So 10 bicep curls, for instance, okay? Sets, this is how many sets of those repetitions you're going to do. So I might do 10 bicep curls 3 times through. That's 3 sets of 10, okay? And in between them sets, usually you would put a rest. You don't have to, depending on your exercise aim, what you're working towards and how you're trying to develop, whether that be power, endurance, hypertrophy, etc., etc. Okay, so now we're going to look at rest. So that rest between your sets. You must, if you're working towards a certain aim, like I just referred to, you must ensure you've got adequate rest or limited rest if you're working towards endurance, so that we're working those areas. So make sure you've got the right rest in between. Next thing which you may hear of is tempo. So tempo is how you conduct the exercise. So say for instance, let's talk bicep curl as we've just used it as a reference. So bicep curl. Tempo can be given 3 numbers or a 4. I like to work with it as a 4 because I think it breaks it down nicely. And this is a nice way, if you haven't got too many weights, if you adjust the tempo, you can make the exercise harder, but with a lighter weight. Bicep curl, for instance. Okay, so the first number, say it's 1. It's the speed at which you come up 1. Second number, it's how long we wait at the top. So usually for a bicep curl, you might give it a 1 count. And then the third number is the speed at which you go down. So if we're working slower on the eccentric, the way down, usually, okay, it is, say it's a 3, 1, 2, 3. The fourth number is how long we spend pausing. If we spend longer pausing, we lose a little bit of the elasticity, so we then go back up with a slightly stricter curl. So let's work off of a 1 up, 0 at the top, 1, 2, 3 on the way down, 0 at the bottom, and then 1 back up. So there's your 4 numbers, okay? So 1 is the initial movement. The second number is the number at which you pause at the top of the movement or at the midway through. And then the next number is on the way back down, with the final number being the slight pause or not, depending on what the tempo is set, before you then commence the next repetition. So that's tempo. Okay, so that's a 4 count tempo. And again, if you get a 3 count, generally that is simply your 1, 1, and then the way back down. So how long you're resting, rather than the pause at the bottom. Okay. The only other thing then is your weight, okay? Weight or resistance. Weight and resistance, again, it's going to depend what you're working towards. It's going to depend on how well conditioned you are, etc., etc. But say, for instance, you're working a set of 10. Say we're working a set of 10 repetitions. Ideally, the resistance, and I say resistance because you might not be using weight. This could be body weight, this could be a press up, okay? So what I'm saying is you need to make sure that your resistance is adjusted or weight is adjusted to make what you're doing achievable. So a press up, okay, it's body weight. You say, how do I adjust that? Well, we adjust that by adjusting the body position. Maybe the feet go down, so the hands come up so the feet are lower, or vice versa if you want to increase it and stay with body weight, okay? So we want to be struggling towards the last few reps to get them out, so that when we rest, we come back for our next set of 10, we're back in fresh and we're still struggling for that 8, 9, 10, certainly struggling before we go back in. So that's the sort of weight you want to be working towards. Hopefully some of that will help you in generating your own programs, or if you want further help, feel free to tap us up or just drop us a message. I'm happy to advise as you go. Guys, hope it's been useful. Dig out.